Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. On this video I am going to be giving you a preview for the Luton Town Manchester United game in the Carbaro Cup third round tomorrow, 8:15 kickoff at Kenilworth Road. Now this will be the 40th meeting between both clubs and the first since a league fixture back in 1992. Luton Town dropped from the First Division in 2009. They did win the League Cup back in 1988. Now, Luton progressed to the third round by beating Reading in the previous round by 1-0, and they beat Norwich in the first round by 3-1. Luton Town's current manager is Nathan Jones. This is actually his second spell at Luton. Before he has been at Stoke, and I think he was also the caretaker manager of Brighton at one point. Luton, I think, have got a few injuries. I think they've got O'Kane out. They've also got Brendan Galloway out. And they've got Dan Potts out. But the players that are going to be featuring, I think, for Luton in this game is going to be George Monco, Jordan Clark, Ryan Tunnicliffe, who is a former Manchester United player, Andrew Shinier, and Danny Hilton will be featuring for Luton. I should be expecting Manchester United to win this game because we need to see a reaction from Manchester United, because we recently lost 3-1 to Crystal Palace on the opening day of the Premier League season. And it was our worst defeat, I think, on the opening day of the Premier League season since 1995. And it was the second season in a row in the Premier League that we'd lost to Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. Now, we progressed to the Carbaro Cup semi-finals last season. We did lose to Manchester City. We haven't won the Carbaro Cup since 2017. So the last time we won it was under the Jose Mourinho era. We beaten Southampton in the final by 3-2. But in total, I think we've won the League Cup around 5 times, because we won it on 4 occasions under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Now, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be making quite a lot of changes from our 3-1 defeat to Crystal Palace recently. I'm expecting Dean Henderson to start in goal. If Dean Henderson does start in goal, that will be his debut for the club. And I've said anyway that Solskjaer needs to put Dean Henderson as our number 1, because I think Dean Henderson is now reliable enough to become our number 1 goalkeeper. You know, Dean Henderson recently endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield United. And we got Dean Henderson at the age of 14, so he has been part of the club for several years. A few weeks ago, Dean Henderson signed a 6-year contract with Man United worth 120 grand a week. And he actually threatened to leave the club if he isn't assured to be number 1 this season. But I think for the first part of this season at least, David De Gea will remain our number 1 goalkeeper. I expect Wan-Bissaka to come back into the team. He didn't play any part in the 3-1 defeat to Crystal Palace. I don't actually know why Solskjaer decided to go with Fosu Mensah instead in the Crystal Palace game. But he should be playing in this one, Wan-Bissaka. Like I've said, this season is Wan-Bissaka's second season at Manchester United, and he's got to improve his attacking intent, because, you know, that's what he's lacking at the moment. But his defensive contribution's always been very, very good. You know, we got Wan-Bissaka in a deal worth £50 million from Crystal Palace last summer. But if he is to emulate to Trent Alexander-Arnold's level, you know, we've got to see more of the attacking side of his game. Now, I expect Eric Bay to be playing in this game. I think he will start ahead of Victor Lindelof. Victor Lindelof was absolutely shocking in the game against Crystal Palace. Obviously gave the penalty away for the handball. Definitely was accountable for the first goal and also was caught out of position for the third goal. From my own perception now, I don't think Victor Lindelof is good enough to represent Manchester United, but I think he will stay at the football club for at least another season. Lindelof's endured like 3 years at the football club. We got him from Benfica back in 2017 for £30 million. But Eric Bay, I do really highly rate him, and I think he's a very, very good centre-half. But my element of concern about Eric Bay is that he is too injury-prone. Sustained so many injuries as a Manchester United player. We got Eric Bay back in 2016 from Villarreal for £30 million. I think Harry Maguire will keep his place in the team. Harry Mcguire obviously played in the game against Crystal Palace, and I thought, he was very, very poor, was Harry Maguire. And there's definitely aspects of his game that I've got to improve at Manchester United. Solskjaer said not so long ago that Harry Maguire's arrest in Greece and his conviction in Greece, he's not sure how it will affect him this season. Now, obviously, we got Harry Maguire in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester last summer. So he is the second most expensive sign at the club and the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment. And we know that he is going to remain Manchester United captain this season. Brandon Williams, I think he's going to come into the team. He will start at left-back. I think Luke Shaw won't be starting this game. Luke Shaw against Crystal Palace weren't so good either. Lacked that attacking intent and was definitely accountable for Crystal Palace's first goal. But my element of concern about Luke Shaw anyway is that he is injury prone. But we know that Luke Shaw's more experienced than Brandon Williams. But yeah, I'd like to see Williams start this game against Luton. Don't forget, we recently give Brandon Williams the number 33 shirt. I think he's the first Manchester United player to wear the number 33 since Paddy McNair. Not so long ago, Brandon Williams signed a 4-year contract with Manchester United. So it's good that he's committed his future with the football club. Last season, he made his senior debut against Rochdale in the Cup. And he made his first league start against Brighton. I think Fred and Matic are going to be playing in this game. Fred or Matic didn't play any part in the 3-1 defeat to Crystal Palace. Matic, I've got to say, he has actually really, really improved as a Manchester United player. I think he's going to stay at the football club for at least another season. It wasn't so long ago that Matic had signed a 3-year deal with Man United. We got Matic in a deal worth £40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. Fred, I've also got to say, he's improved as a Manchester United player. He's endured a few years now at the football club. We did get Fred in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window. We paid £52 million for him. But he has confounded his critics wrong because under the Jose Mourinho era, Fred received a lot of criticism. But there again, Fred never really got his opportunities under the Jose Mourinho era. Maybe we won't. We could go with maybe Matic and McTominay, maybe Fred and McTominay, Obviously, McTominay did actually, play against Crystal Palace. And I thought McTominay, to be honest with you, was very, very poor. I just thought he was just very, very poor on the ball and that. And not so long ago, McTominay signed a 5-year deal with Manchester United. And McTominay has been part of the club for several years. And I think we have now given him a new role, saying that now he is our first choice holding midfielder. Paul Pogba, I don't think he's going to start this game against Luton. I don't think he's going to play any part. Paul Pogba, I thought, was very, very poor against Crystal Palace. Well, he did have a couple of chances like from outside the box, but I just thought he was too easily dispossessed was Paul Pogba. And I thought towards the end of last season, Paul Pogba made a fantastic impact for Manchester United. His combination with Bruno Fernandes was very, very good. But for the vast majority of last season, I didn't really have a perception on Paul Pogba because he was out with that ankle injury. Pogba has sustained quite a few injuries as a Manchester United player. This season is his 5th season at the football club since he rejoined from Juventus back in 2016. We paid £89 million for him. So as it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing. Now, I think we've got to get Paul Pogba a new long-term contract at the football club to end the uncertainty over his future because he has had a long-running transfer saga. Now, a few weeks ago, Paul Pogba's agent Mini Raiola had come out and said that Paul Pogba will stay at Man United this summer and he will hold talks over a new contract. Fabrizio Romano also said that Pogba's happy at Man United and he said he wants to stay at Manchester United. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's just got under a year left on his contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. But around this time last year, Paul Pogba made an admission saying that he wanted to leave Manchester United because he was seeking for a new challenge. And he even publicly admitted that he wanted to leave the football club when he was talking a hell of a lot about Real Madrid. There was narratives about him going back to Juventus because Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus. Barca, Inter Milan and PSG have been in for him before. Paul Pogba, don't forget, did enjoy a difficult time under the Jose Mourinho era, but all our top players, enjoyed a difficult time under the Jose Mourinho era. We had Paul Pogba when he was younger under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, but obviously we had to let him go due to limited appearances. So I don't think he'll play any part. Bruno Fernandes, I think he will be rested for this game against Luton. Bruno Fernandes weren't that good against Crystal Palace, to be honest with you. Had a few blocked shots, and lacked that composure, and that's a surprise. It really, really is, because I think in a lot of games, Bruno Fernandes has made a fantastic impact. He's obviously won Premier League Player of the Month for us already 3 times, reflecting on his good performances. We got Bruno Fernandes in a deal worth £55 million, was it, from Sporting Lisbon back in January. And he scored 12 or 13 goals in all competitions since his arrival. We know Bruno Fernandes' predominant position is the number 10. I think Donny van der Beek will start this game against Luton, because I think since Donny van der Beek's come in, he's made an impact. And I don't know why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did not start Donny van der Beek in the game against Crystal Palace. Donny van der Beek did score on his Premier League debut because obviously he come off the bench. So that was very, very good news for him in a Manchester United perspective. He also did well in our 1-0 defeat to Aston Villa in pre-season. But he is a very, very good signing for Manchester United. We got him in a deal worth, £40 million. Donny van der Beek signed a 5-year contract with Manchester United to keep him at the club until 2025. And there's also an option of a further year. And we know that he is wearing the number 34 shirt. I think Greenwood should be starting this game as well against Luton. Greenwood didn't start the game against Crystal Palace. Daniel James played instead of Greenwood. I don't know why. We have had a few issues with Mason Greenwood recently. Something to do with inhaling laughing gas. Don't forget, him and Phil Foden had got withdrawn from the England squad for taking girls back to the team hotel. And I think Solskjaer's held private negotiations with Mason Greenwood, regarding his private life. But, Solskjaer did recently say he was infuriated with the FA and Gareth Southgate for the handling of Mason Greenwood, and actually said, he should have been rested. We know now that Mason Greenwood is our new number 11. He's the 4th Manchester United player to wear the number 11. Because before, we had Martial's number 11, we had Adnan Januzaj's number 11, and we also had Ryan Giggs' number 11 for 25 years. 25 years, yeah. So he should be starting on the right-hand side. We could actually put Daniel James on the left-hand side in this game against Luton. Now, obviously, this season is Daniel James' second season at Manchester United. We did get him from Swansea last summer for around £18 million. And last season, Solskjaer played Daniel James a lot. From my own perception, I think Solskjaer overplayed him. But towards the end of last season, Daniel James was finding game time very, very difficult. Like I updated you this morning, there's been stories coming out saying that Leeds are going to make a second approach for him. Leeds are willing to put around the £12 million bidding with add-ons included. And now Leeds are saying, they want to get him on loan with the obligation to make the deal permanent at the end of this season. But Daniel James may only go if Manchester United get Jadon Sancho or another winger on the board. But, we usually play Marcus Rashford on that left-hand side. But to be honest with you, I think Rashford will be rested for this game. Rashford, I don't think, he was too good in the Crystal Palace game either. Definitely I still think Rashford's a foreseeable future for Man United. Rashford's been at the football club around 15 years now. Because he's 22 now and he's been a United player since the age of 7. And he's been in our senior squad since 2016. And since then has become an integral part of our team. And obviously we know now he does play on that left-hand side. I think Odion Ighalo will also get a chance in this game. I think he'll play up front. Obviously, we got Odion Ighalo on deadline day in January. The main explanation why we brought Odion Ighalo in was to get a cover up for Marcus Rashford, because at the time we got Odion Ighalo in, Marcus Rashford was out with that back injury. Rashford just recovered from an ankle injury, by the way. But actually, Odion Ighalo was our top goal scorer in the FA Cup last season. I think it was just after lockdown we extended his loan until January 2021. We've obviously got other options as well who we could, we've also got other options, who could possibly, be involved. We've got that Tiedemann Menge. He broke into the senior squad not so long ago. I think he made his debut for us in the Europa League. Ethan Laird, didn't he get promoted into the senior squad not so long ago? Ethan Galbraith, he also got promoted into the senior squad. Hannibal Mcguire, he's another option. But yeah. Solskjaer has actually not done a press conference for this game against Luton, surprisingly. But not every manager does a press conference for the Carbaro Cup games. I've probably got to say one of our priorities is the Carbaro Cup, because I obviously want Manchester United to win a trophy this season, because I think that's actually one of our expectations. I know there's obviously the FA Cup we can go for. There's obviously the Champions League, because we're now into the Champions League. Obviously, we're not good enough to win the Champions League. And obviously, we're not going to win the Premier League and that. But we have not yet won out in terms of silverware under the Solskjaer era. And it has been at the football club now over a year and a half. So I really, really want us to win a trophy under the Solskjaer era. But I said to you, didn't I, this season is big for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United, because obviously, this season is his second full season at the football club. And obviously, he's got to exceed expectations if he's to remain in the Manchester United job. Now, you'll get a few Manchester United fans that are demanding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out of the football club. I think it is a bit too early, to really have a perception on him. If this bad vein of form is to continue in the next 4 to 5 games, maybe 6 games, then, Solskjaer will be heavily criticised. Don't forget, at the first part of last season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. At that point, Solskjaer was very, very close to getting sacked by the football club. But if he was to sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who would come in to replace him? Now, obviously, Mauricio Pochettino for a long time was linked with a managerial role at Man United. He was actually linked with a managerial role at Man United before Solskjaer got the job permanently in March last year. There was also talks at one point of Massimiliano Allegri coming into the football club. But I think we've just got to stick with him for now. I think he's partly to blame for our inconsistency, and definitely Solskjaer's decision making's got to improve. And I think certain players have got to take responsibility as well, because obviously they're not stepping up to the plate. But I think the vast majority of the blame stems from the board. Because the board are just not backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer enough. And I think Solskjaer deserves more backing at Manchester United. And obviously Woodward and the Glazers aren't spending any money. And Woodward and the Glazers have said quite a few times that they're determined to back Solskjaer. Woodward's been with us since 2012 and the Glazers have been with us since 2005. But we've been critical of them for several years anyway, reflecting on how poor our recruitment policy's been. We've also overpaid for players in recent years. We've made a lot of mistakes in the last 7 years, and that's one of the main explanations why we've been so inconsistent. The managers that we've had since Ferguson retired haven't been backed enough. So this is why. Like I said, we're missing out on our targets in this summer transfer window. Obviously, we've missed out on Sergio Reguilon. He's gone to Tottenham. We've missed out on Gareth Bale. He's gone back to Tottenham. We missed out on Erling Haaland in January. And I said that was a shame because he would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing. We also missed out on Jude Bellingham. We missed out on Jack Grealish because he recently signed a 5-year deal with Aston Villa and all of that. And another one of my element of concerns that there's teams around us that are recruiting very, very well. By far, Chelsea have done the best business so far. They've brought the likes of Hakim Ziyech, Timo Werner, Ben Chilwell, Milan Sarr, Thiago Silva, Kai Havertz, Mendy. Chelsea obviously have got to get a goalkeeper to replace Kepa Arrizabalaga. Liverpool, they've brought obviously Diego Jota in, Thiago in, and they also brought Tsitsipas in. City, they brought Nathan Ake and Ferran Torres in. Arsenal, they brought Gabriel Magalhaes in and Willian. Tottenham, they've made some very, very good signings. They brought Reguilon in, Bale, Holberg, Joe Hart, Kyle Walker-Peters and Doherty. Even Leeds United have obviously made some good signings. Everton themselves have made some good signings. James Rodriguez was a very, very good signing for them. But, this summer transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager. And so far at the football club, he has spent over £200 million. Last summer, he brought Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And in January, he brought Bruno Fernandes and he also brought Odin Ighalo in. And recently brought Donny van de Beek in. And he's also brought quite a few academy players into the football club as Solskjaer. But there's still improvements needed at Manchester United. There's still certain players that have got to improve. There's still aspects of our game that have got to improve. Solskjaer's decision making has still got to improve in that. I have seen improvements under him. I like the way Solskjaer's promoted the youth. He's brought some good players in so far. He's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into Manchester United. We did go on a 19-game unbeaten run at one point until Chelsea beat us in the FA Cup semi-final. Went unbeaten in our went on a 14-game unbeaten run in the league until Crystal Palace recently beat us. So there is positives to take so far from the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. I think as it stands at the moment, Solskjaer's just got under 2 years left on his contract with Man United. Like I said, if we were to turn things around this season, there could be a possibility chance that we could extend his contract. But I want Manchester United to mount a title challenge up this season. And if we don't make any more signings, then I don't think we'll mount any title challenge up. You know, we haven't mounted any title challenge up in the last 7 years. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. You know, we are the most successful team in Premier League history because we have won 20 titles and 13 of them are Premier League titles. And I said to you on one of my recent videos, didn't I, what would represent a good season for Manchester United? And that would be to finish in the top 2 or the top 3. And win a trophy. That would represent a good season for us because we are at least 3, 4, maybe even 5 years off winning the title. I said what Man United needed to do to win the title this season. That was to make around 5 signings at least in this summer transfer window. Also, get rid of players. You know, we are struggling to offload our fringe players at the moment. I said it's very imperative that we sell players in this summer transfer window because for one, we'll generate money and it will help us with our rebuilding process, and two, there is still deadwood at Manchester United. Now, Lingard, he's one of the players that Manchester United are looking to get rid of. As you all know, Tottenham have been in talks to sign Jesse Lingard, and I heard that Tottenham are preparing to put around a £30 million bid in. I heard that Tottenham will only try and get Lingard if they can sell Dele Alli. Rob Dawson did recently say that Jose Mourinho is keen on reuniting with the player. I think Solskjaer said he wants Lingard to stay, despite that he's been inconsistent for so long, but Lingard's been part of the club for several years. I think he's been a Manchester United player since 2000, and he's been in our senior squad since 2011. Don't forget, there was a period where Lingard didn't score a goal or provide one assist in the Premier League for over a year. Lingard has just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for the further year. Andres Pereira, I think he's another player Man United are looking to get rid of. Some Man United fans believe he will stay at the club. Smalling, Rojo and Jones, we're also looking to get rid of them. We're also looking to get rid of Diego Dalot. He's another one because he's not good enough to represent Man United. He's our backup right back to Wan-Bissaka. And Sergio Romero, I think he'll leave Manchester United because he won't want to stay at the football club as third choice goalkeeper, will he? There's been stories coming out saying that Valencia have contacted Man United over possibly signing Romero, and Valencia are willing to pay around £6 million. Everton, Leeds and Villa have also expressed an interest in Sergio Romero. I think there's around, 3 weeks or just under 3 weeks left now in this summer transfer window. By the way, on my next video, I'll be giving you the breaking news on Alex Telles. I will be doing that, yeah. But if we did decide to sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I don't think it would solve a lot because not all of the blame stems from the manager. Like I said, you know, Man United are not known as a sacking football club, despite the fact that we've sacked 3 managers since the Ferguson era, and that was obviously Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. So we have had different managers with different philosophies. We've spent close to the £1 billion range on players in the last 7 years, you know. I think a lot of the players we've brought in the last 7 years haven't been the right calibre players for Man United. You know, we've recruited over 30-odd players in since the Ferguson era. I think we made a mistake bringing Fellaini in. Wasn't good enough for Man United. It was Moyes that brought him in. There was a lot of players that were brought in under Louis van Gaal era who were not good enough for the club. But a lot of players that Van Gaal brought in have now left. You know, Falcao was trash, so you know, we made the right decision letting him go. Depay never really got his opportunities, so made the right decision by leaving the club. Daley Blind, I don't think Daley Blind was too bad, to be honest with you. Rojo, you know, we brought him in. We obviously brought Martial and Shaw in as well. Martial and Shaw, to be fair, have done well for us. They haven't been inconsistent, really. Schneiderlin, we brought Schneiderlin in. Very poor. Sebastian Schweinsteiger definitely weren't good. Ander Herrera, he's definitely one player that Manchester United should have kept, and we brought him in under Louis van Gaal era. Like I said, we brought a lot of players in under the Jose Mourinho era. You know, Mourinho recommended 11 players into Man United, and the vast majority of this team now is Jose Mourinho's. You know, but Solskjaer's made a lot of Mourinho's players better, to be honest with you. Lukaku, he's definitely one of the players that we shouldn't have got rid of. You know, we let him go to Inter Milan last summer. But I just think it's going to be hard for any manager at Manchester United to replicate Ferguson's legacy or to last as long as Alex Ferguson did. It's just going to be really, really hard. You know, under Ferguson, won a total of 38 major honours, you know, including 13 Premier League titles. But we've only won 3 trophies since Ferguson left, and that was the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League and the League Cup under Jose Mourinho. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, anyway, guys, that's everything to update you with today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.